You know, where's your mother? I don't know. So it's different people have different things to do. Some people have very low threshold of that. That's carefully. Very low threshold of and toughness to overcome. Other people have much tougher and ability to overcome. So each person has different. You know, when I was young, I remember my teacher, my shifu, and me told, and we say we had a 5 yen. It's about 80 cents. And my shifu said, wow, we had the best 3 months. You know, that 80 cents, we spent the whole 3 months, we spent 80 cents. You know, that's the biggest spending we had. 80 cents for 3 months for 2 people.
Wow.
That's a lot of money we spent. It's a lot of money to us. 80 cents for 3 months for 2 people. But before that, we never had 80 cents. We probably had, we might have 3 cents, we may have 5 cents. You know, we could not even buy a bag of salt. That's about 3, 4 pennies. You know, sometimes 2 pennies probably, but we didn't have the money to buy the salt. I remember one time somebody get a few grams of salt, put it in my water. Oh, that was the best, in my world at that time. 3, 4
What did you find? Grains of salt?
Yeah, we those days we didn't have salt. We didn't have salt, and we were, you put a thin leg, it's a bigger hole. You put it anywhere, there's a bigger hole. Because you don't have money, you didn't have anything to eat. You know, if you have lucky, you eat a $3. If you're not lucky, you get into mud, and add anything. I'm vegetarian, but I used to eat nuggets. And nuggets is life, but I didn't have anything, so I eat the nuggets. I eat roaches. If I get a roaches, I just add it. I know that it's wrong today, but I didn't think it wrong those days because I just so hungry. I was so hungry. I eat the mud. I eat roaches. I eat nuggets. I eat this, this little thing running out of the bathroom, and we call it. It's like beetles, it's the beetles from the bathroom. That's what it is. And then they're running out. I catch them.
Cockroaches.
Yeah, that's right.
Cockroaches.
And then you eat anything you eat.
But this is something they use in Chinese traditional medicine, isn't it? As well.
No, this is just I'm just hungry. And nothing to do with the Chinese medicine. I was swollen, and then I never had a doctor. I never had a luxuries to see a doctor. I never heard of such thing as to see a doctor. Absorb it. You take over it. So, and I remember my teacher told me, the turtle. Do you think the turtle go to hospital to see a doctor? They never met a doctor. Never went to a hospital. They lived. So can we? When I was young, I was a child, and I had meningitis. A lot of people died. Everybody thought I was going to be dead. Everybody thought the same thing. But I was lucky. I had a teacher. I had somebody knew a little bit qigong, knew a little bit energy healing, and then they helped me and to transform. And then I never had problems. And then sometimes I was absent-minded, and I thought I didn't know that as to my meningitis. Okay, because I had a meningitis, and that's why I'm absent-minded, which is not true. So you try to blame anything for anything, So when I could not study, and I was like 20-some years old, I was in 3rd grade, and people say, your life is basically you do martial arts. That's all you do. You never be able to do any academics your life because you just didn't have that mind. You had nothing upstairs, and you just flimsy on your limbs. You can be faster. You can be doing a lot of things than everybody, but you don't have a brain. Your brain is nothing in it. One time I said, my Shifu said, empty the mind. If my mind is empty, I can put anything in it. so that's always in my belief. And I remember the teachers, and I look for a lot of teachers to teach me, so I can go in like a 4th grade, 5th grade, if I can study some of the books. And at the beginning, I tried to ask the teachers. People told me, you're too old, you're already 24 years old. You want to study, you're going to catch this high school kid. You never been to high school, you never been to middle school, you never do, you finish your elementary school. It's not possible, to go to college, I want to see eventually I want to go to college. I say, no, it's not possible. I say, well, if my mind is empty, I don't have to go through all these things, I can study on my own. So I did. I studied on my own. And I did meet that kind of people. That's reflection. The word is not out there. It's right here, inside you. You reflect how the world works. If you believe it, and you're always doing that way, you flow with that energy, that frequency, you're going to attract that frequency. That's what I call feng shui, my feng shui. People always say, Shifu, you always bring feng shui. Yes, I bring feng shui wherever I am. I bring the feng shui right over there. If I'm there, I have that feng shui. Doesn't matter how bad it is. I can bring feng shui over there. That's just the way I see. So, and then I immediately attracted doctors and professors, and it's all kinds of people, And there's a guy, and he graduated from America, and he's an engineer, and he was sent to the countryside by the government. And then, we became friends because nobody became his friend. I became his friend because I was from the counter-revolutionary family anyway. I came from the land family anyway. So according to counter-revolutionary people, I was a counter-revolutionary boy. I was born with a crime. I never committed. So that's just, I don't care anymore, I just, so I associated, began to associate with professors, associated with the doctors, associated with the people. But they didn't have friends, so they see, I didn't abandon them. I was pretty good with the martial arts, and then according to them, and then this guy, and didn't feel they were like bad people. Then they take me. So then when all these people helped me from 3rd grade all the way to college level, it took me 2 years.
But this was all still in China, wasn't it? Like this was when you were young. This was in China still.
No, this was in China. This is when I was already 24. I was 24 years old. Yeah, I was on 3rd grade. I was 24 at 3rd grade, and then people asking me, pardon?
How did you end up in the United States? Like
I was 24. I studied the Chinese medicine before, before that time. And then I, 24 years old, I studied a little bit Chinese medicine, herbs, some acupuncture, some acupressure. And then I now want to study, like a science. I want to study mathematics. I want to study English. I want to study normal school, do. Because of traditional medicine, and at that time, you don't have to do this. You go to, some doctors, and you get training. You get, you go to the, 2 years, medical, called herb schools, and those days. Not like today. Today, you go to medical school, you have to do 5 years at the least. But that's 2 years. I did that 2 years, and just because I studied medicine since I was a child, and with my teacher in the Kung Fu school. Kung Fu school, you always study medicine and to treat people who have injuries, who have traumas. And we do that all the time for the countryside people. We do acupuncture, acupressure. We always do that. So I went to medical school, tried to just get my license. So, and then I practiced at medical school for 2 years. And this is, I am, 24 years old. And then I want to study maybe English. People say, you got to be crazy. How many English words are there? I say, I don't know. Let's say how many English letters were there. I say, well, I counted 16. Say, count it again. I counted them like 5 times 16. I said, well, there was 16 letters. No. He said, no, there are 26. I said, really? And then I wrote down to me. So, okay, you tell me so I can recite it. He said, there are two ladies. You don't even know English, how many letters. How do you go? That's too far away. I said, I can start from first day. So this is there I start. So 24 years old, I started my ABC. My friend taught me 26 letters.
Well, wait a second. You're talking about letters. This is interesting because I think our idea is so different of your idea about language, right? Like how many letters are there in Chinese or in
This doesn't have letters. Traditional is you have strokes. You have strokes. The different strokes. It's like pictures. Like a 10. Okay, exactly. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 strokes. And that's heaven. And the people, and you have 1, 2 strokes. You have a head and you have 2 legs. And that's the people. So that's just kind of a mimic picture, picturized. And moon is to look like a moon, and it's all pictures. So it's different, totally different. For these letters, to me, it's totally foreign, totally, and out of abstract. But I say, if I get into it, I'm going to have passion on it. I'm going to dive into it. I'm going to study it. And I see anybody, I talk to them. I see anything, I study English. And with anybody. So I study the first book, second book, third book. Those are the radio English. And the first book, there are a lot of people, waiting in lines. You cannot even get a book. So I get friends that loan me to read a few days. A few days here, a few days there. Second book, and nobody bought them. Third book, there was on the shelf, nobody there anymore. So I studied, and it is about the grit. That's what I see, the grit. That's Kung Fu. Because I studied Kung Fu for so many years, I know that Kung Fu. If you study something, if you have the Kung Fu, you can penetrate into it. And that's what I did. And then I got my.
Would you say? Would you say that grit is almost like a muscle? It's something that you can train.
Yes, grit is sort of like you have that direction. Okay, you want to do something, you have that direction, you stick with that direction. Okay, that is the passion. You stick with that direction, you map it. Doesn't matter what, you get it. That's what it is, and you will. 100% of people will get it. The problem is that a lot of people don't. Halfway they give up. Some people 1/3 of the way they give up, and some people just they give up too easy. And it's for me. It's just like I said. How did you get to America? If to me, think about it. Often come to America during my time. The whole city, I was the first one go to America in 1980s. You had the government sent to America. A lot of people from the government, they begin to learn. And the Western world, their science, a lot of the technology is really great. China is behind. And then they want to study. The government sent the top people from their families, from the top government, the officials, their family people, their relationships. And then they sent to America and sent to the foreign countries to study, technology, science. And for us, for me, the lowest of the lowest, I was born in the crime I never committed. I told you, on the blacklist, when I was born. So how could I get there? But I had a picture when I was a little young. I said, one day I'll be there. That was a picture of Texas, outside Austin. That was a picture. I go down the street. I said, one day I'll be there. And then it was when I was 30 years old, I traveled over there. Here I am. I told myself, I'm here. Here I am. That was the picture. I'm here sitting. I'm standing right in the middle of these flowers, Texas flowers. That's
Austin,
great.
Texas.
Austin, Texas. Because I went to Austin, Texas at least, 10 times. Because my adopted mother, my teacher, who was my English teacher, who was a Baptist actually, and become my best friend in college. And then took me to introduced me to a lot of people in the United States. So you connect with the people, And when I was studying English in college, of course, that's later, when I really studied, I studied 2 years and I went to college. And I went to college, people say, your English is better than most people. You should skip. So I skipped from freshman to junior. And then junior, you got a chance to study with the foreigners. You understand? From America, from England. So I studied with those people in 80s, in mid 80s. So early 80s actually. And then they were experts. And then really we fall in love with each other because they love my kung fu. They love what I can offer them because I know most of the people in town. Because my kung fu, even though I was on the back list, but I was still pretty well known. Why? Because I taught so many people kung fu in my city, and anywhere they always know me because because of my kung fu, So they were amazed, wherever one know I can take them. Nobody could take them, and I can take them, and wherever they wanted, I can get them if they have money. But normally they cannot get them. So they think I was just the invisible man, and they would really love me. So I become friends with them. They were the one trying to get me to America. Why? Because if you want to study English, you either go to England or go to America. And then this Dr. Taylor told me, go to America. Okay, I will see to it. At the beginning, in the beginning of the 80s, you almost thought impossible because I was bad seeds. What is bad seeds? Black seeds of the family of family of China. Okay, and people say you're black sheep, and I was not even sheep, treated like sheep. People can kill you on the street anytime. It's no problem because you came from the black, from that kind of family. What I see, you understand? And against the Communist Party, that's what it is. But I never do anything against the Communist Party. I'm not against any party, and I love people. I don't care you Communist Party, you Republican Party, your Democratic Party. I don't care. You're just people. I love you guys. So that's what I see. And then one day, this is answer your question about how did I get to America. And then they got this piece of information that they're supposed to go to Nanjing, from Wuhu to Nanjing. Nanjing because there's some people, some leader want to meet them to thank them for coming to China to contribute to Chinese modernization. Okay, China. And we didn't know. And then they said, no, we want to take Shang Deru with us. They say, no, this is not possible. He's a student. He cannot go with you guys. We have a foreign office. Those days you have foreign office. Nobody can go with the foreigners. Only foreign office. You go to travel from one city to another city, you have to have a certificate. You understand? That's those days. And then they took me. They convinced the translator. They convinced the foreign office. If I don't go, they don't go. that was how firmly they really put on these people. So they say, okay, let him go. So they really and didn't have a choice. Just wanted me to go along. Just told me, don't go to the meeting. Just accompany them to translate something they need, and they cannot pay me. And then, but these foreigners pay me. Okay, so pay my food. Pay my food. That's but I don't need any payment, but food. That's about it. So I went with them, and then that morning, the translator said, "I don't want to go." I stayed in a hotel. You go, because the foreign teachers wanted me to go because the two translators. You cannot have two translators, so he just stayed. He's a good friend of mine, and we became friends. And then he just let me go. He didn't know it was who we met. It's just someone, He didn't know. I didn't know. Nobody knew. And then when we get down to that place, it was Deng Xiaoping. Deng Xiaoping at that time was the #1 leader of China. So like Chairman Mao, like Deng Xiaoping, like Jiang Zemin, like Xi Jinping, like the #1 leader. And I got to meet him. When I met him, I shook his hand. I said to myself, or maybe to him, I didn't, maybe not even say loud. I said, "Can I go to America?" just that something comes to my mind. I may not even say it. And people like me, I just translate that consciousness, that's totally consciousness translation into him, transmission into him. That's all. 1.5 years later, I heard on the radio, the radio said, Deng Xiaoping had a new policy, because normally the number one leader give the policy. And here's a letter to the public. The public said that if you didn't commit any crime against the Communist Party, crime against the government, any crime against the humanity, any crime against any, any entities, or any crime against anybody, you, even though your family had a bad background, your family are criminals, against the Communist Party, your families had something, they call 成分, your family character, your family personality. So that was what it was. And you can still go to study, go to college, go to, foreign countries to study. That was just unheard of. I said, wow, that was to me. I immediately thought that was to me. He gave the letter because of me. It doesn't matter, it is because of me. I thought it was for me. I began to work on it. 1.5 years later or 2 years later, yeah, I almost got my passport. Then when I was almost got my passport, I worked 2 years. And then there was a shock. Why? Because my professor, one of my best professor, who studied from English people, but she never went to a foreign country, but she wanted to go to England to study. She was the best teacher over there, English literature teacher. But she applied through the government because she was a professor, and she was denied because her family had some dark spot, which means the family was rich before. That's what it is. That was 2 years ago, but now it's 2 years later, and she was mad. I got permission because what happened is that I was just stupid enough to tell her personally. I didn't tell a lot of people, few professors who taught me. I said, well, I almost got my passport. People already told me I was going to pick my passport in a week or two. And she reported me, told me I had counter-revolutionary words. And said something against the Communist Party. That's totally put me in the abyss. You understand, the dark spot. And then they said, well, we cannot give you passport anymore. This is too much. Everybody can get themselves in trouble because of that. You understand? I had to go, walk around. A lot of people knew me. A lot of families knew me. Even the mayor's daughter knew me. And then she said, this is my teacher, my English teacher. I taught her, his daughter, English. And then, they always said good words about me. So, that's very important, the frequency, the energy frequency, the coherence with people. And a few weeks later, the security bureau's chief, get the people call me, come to security office. And I was, I didn't know I was going to be rejected. I'm going to get my passport. I had no idea. I went over there just, almost taking to some degree. And I got there, and seriously, there's another lady who's supposed to go to Europe. There are two people had a meeting, and that family also from rich family, from an old rich family. Now it's a really bad family, within the Communist Party, it was bad family, because they had foreign connections. That was in China at that time. You had foreign connections, you already become the enemy of the country. That's what that was at that time. You understand? So we both had a meeting with security office chief, and then after she left, and I continued to talk to them, and there's few rules I had: never talk to anybody from the Taiwan, never got into the red district, never talk to the political people, never do there's a lot of things. We risk our lives for you. Okay, you've got to behave, So I did. If FBI chased me for 5 years, I never got into FBI, because I guess they know I can do something. And I don't want to join anybody. I don't want to join the communist place. I don't want to join FBI or whatever they have. I trained a lot of people in the FBI. I trained a lot of people in Marshall. I trained a couple people from the U.S. The Black Hawks. I trained a lot of people in different divisions, and and the police forces and army, navy. It doesn't matter. And then I can train them, but I don't want to join anybody. You understand? I just want to be independent person. So that's how I came to America, and then I got my passport. Oh my goodness! And then look, people donated money, and to get my my tickets, my adopted mother, which is my teacher, and I call her adopted mother. It's sort of like my mother. She was really good to me. And Dr. Taylor, my Valerie Taylor, beautiful lady. She was Baptist, actually, and I was a Buddhist, And eventually I joined the Baptist. You know why? Because I want to see, we are people. You understand? There's no difference. I don't want fragmentations. I don't want religions. I don't want all these divisions. I join anybody if you want me to join you. I want to see what you do. A lot of great things you can do, And then I joined one of the Baptist churches. And it's not a problem at all. And that's another story. Anyhow, I came to America. And she wanted me to give me some money. I said, no, I don't want it. I want to survive because I never had money in China. I want to survive without money. That's the way I survived. So she gave me 25 cents to make a phone call. Those days, you put 25 cents, you make a phone call, local call. But unfortunately, that I was at UC Berkeley. And I landed in San Francisco. It cost from San Francisco to call UC Berkeley. It's a long distance. It didn't work. So, but then I started back into the airport. Back into the airplane, I met a guy who came from Texas. And then he had a story about how he got into the oil business, how he is helping China to do the oil business, we began to talk. He said, when I tried to put the coin into the slot to make a phone call, it falling out, it didn't work. He said, I knew it didn't work. Now he was behind me. He said, here's the card. I didn't know you, I didn't tell you because I want you to try it, go through the process, and then I want you to know there's something work. I use this card, it's gonna work. You can use any way you want. So I called UC Berkeley. People can pick me up. The vice president of the UC Berkeley picked him up. And I remember clearly, took me to the first, American restaurant. It was just plenty of food. I was just shocked. I was shocked. When I was taught the Western country is miserable. You understand? They live in misery. They live in miserable lives. Everybody starved. And then I came totally opposite what I was taught. That's those days. So that's how I came to America. And from UC Berkeley, I moved to another city. I got a full scholarship. It was also another unbelievable story because at UC Berkeley, everybody told me they do analysis. There's a clear, reasonable analysis. Okay, how many people know English in the United States? I said, well, everybody. Say, how many people say English better than you? I said, everybody. That's what I said. See, how can you think you can get a scholarship? They cannot even get a scholarship. Why? You can get a scholarship. What is your special? You got to be kidding. I said, well, it's not bad to try. If I fail, I try again. I'll do it. So I applied. 3 universities took me. University of Mobile gave me 4 years of scholarship, international scholarship. The first university scholarship gave to me, and $25,000 a year. It's beautiful. And then I just stay in the cafeteria, the cottage by the cafeteria, and they give me tickets for cafeteria to eat, give me a photography job to work as a photographer at the university. And then I teach some Kung Fu at night to some teachers, to some outsiders. And I was very happy, So anywhere you go, you always meet something. When you go to the water will open for you. When you go to the wind will open for you. When you go to the mountain, there's a cave open up and go to the other side of the cave, period. That's how it works. That's how the conscious works. When you go somewhere, there's an opening. Go through the process. That's what I see. I'm lucky. Of course, it's the universe always you give you lucky if you really dive into it. That's what I see.
So the way that I'm translating this right now, and especially like the whole, like all the conversations that we've had until now, I've always seen so much excitement in everything that you're explaining, everything that you're sharing, and everything that you're saying and doing. And like if you talk about your past and all the problems that you've been through, also you still talk about so much excitement, or with so much excitement about all these things. And I think that like this is actually the one thing that has kept you on the right path and opened up the doors. Because probably I believe that if you go without this kind of energy or vibration, then the doors keeps closed. The doors stay closed to you, to all these different opportunities.
Absolutely. If you focus on the bad things, you're going to be always in the bad things. That's why I told all my patients, all my students who have cancer, stage 4 cancer, terminal ill, other terminal ills. One lady who had really very, very serious situation with her diabetes, with her cancer, just multiple things. That's what I told her. If you stay on that path, you're going to get worse. But that's another way. If you stay up in a different path, you're going to totally transform yourself. She stayed with me for a year and a half, and then she told me, I got rid of all the drugs. I got rid of even my shot. And normally I go to hospital every another month, stay for 2 weeks in hospitals. But now I got out of hospital. This year I only went to hospital for only one time. That's a big transformation to her. So it's a lot of people like that. We have Janet, who was the president, the vice president of this hospital system. Yeah, she had the best medicine. That's true. However, hospital, we cannot do anything anymore. Because it's out of science, it's out of medical field, and your cancer spread out. You there's no chance. She came to me, and I told her I cannot do anything. I'm not magic. I cannot do anything unless you want to do something. Unless you want to turn around, change your mindset, change your consciousness, change your vibration, change the direction of your consciousness. And then we can travel together. You and me travel together. PBS, have you heard of PBS? PBS is from America. And it's a national TV, it's public television of America. And they're going to do a short story on it. We just, we did a little bit the interview. We interviewed this lady too. And she gave the story. I'm a very successful story. That's 2 months ago. And since 2003, she got a cancer. And 2008, she spread out and she was desperate. But today, she told everybody, this is the best health she ever had in her life, including her childhood. She's over 70, she had best health, much better than her presidency at a hospital system. And then, so I told her to quit her job, not because it's the job, it's the thing you dive into. It's the disease, the status of mind, disease, the state of the consciousness, disease, the state of, pathways. That's what it is. Turn around. When people turn away from the sun, they see the darkness. Because the shadow, dark shadow, if they turn around, it's a bright sun. It's beautiful. That's what it is about.
This ease is the lack of ease, and ease is just the way that you go through life, isn't it? Like, I mean, like if you go with the flow, this is the ease. You just you know, there's no resistance. And when you start resisting, this is where the dis-ease comes, right? Like the lack of ease. And then things start becoming difficult. And when things become difficult, they manifest.
Yeah. If you see,
they
it's about
come
reflection.
they manifest into the matter, into the material of the person, right?
Exactly. It's the frequency. You know, when you dive into the frequency, everything is, there's nothing difficult. There's no such thing as difficult, because you through everything. You think that's normal. You think people can die around you. It's normal. You know, I slept with 8 people. 7 people died. I was the one survived. You know, they are rotten. So what?
How was that?
You know, that's part of life. Yeah, that's part of life. That's during the Cultural Revolution, and everybody died, and then I was the one left. So if you just think of these dead bodies, and you could be one of the dead bodies, but you rise above. You think of these roaches. You know, today I see the roaches, I take them out, say, live. I get a rat, I take them out, go to the mountains, live. You know, I take ants. You know, we had a big piles of ants who come to my house. There were like millions. The air conditioner told me, why your air conditioning was not working, the system was not working, because you had a huge pile of ants built inside of that air conditioning system, because you never lived at home. You always live at the school, because you never live here. That's why it's a piles of ants over there, and it's not working anymore. So next day they say, well, we have to get rid of it. We have to get rid of it. We get them chemicals, we get all kinds of things. We get rid of the ants. We got to, we change a new system. And I sit over there, meditated with the ants for probably an hour. I told them, you guys probably it's time to leave, to move out of here. Yeah. I never talked to them, but just without a consciousness, I just meditated. I sit for an hour, and I just tell them, it's time to leave. I didn't know if they move or not. It's their choice. Okay, it's not my choice. I just transmit that energy to them. That's all it is. Next day, or 2 days later, the air conditioning people came. They said, "Where are the ants? What do you do with these ants?" I said, "I didn't do anything. They just moved." I told them, "Move this. You're joking. You got to be joking. You're crazy. You want to convince us we believe what you said?" I said, "You don't have to believe anything." That was, I just transmit my energy, tell them to leave. They left. I don't know it's true or not, but you told me they were not here. You got to be, you did something. I said, "No, I didn't do anything. I just tell them to leave." They say even after today, they didn't believe what I said, but that's okay. They don't have anything, but that's okay. I know it's a fact, because I told them, I just meditated with them, and then there was millions of ants over there. They just left. We all have consciousness. That's what I see. That's what I see. And whatever you get into, what do you call ease? I call flow with the nature, flow with the universe, flow with the conscious cosmos. That's what it is. And I always give that word, the conscious matrix of the cosmos. That's like a matrix of the cosmos in the universe. That's what I see. And when you tap into that, everything flows. And because the so-called difficulties, it's as Amanda said, it's what do you believe? Oh, that's difficult. What do you believe? That's suffering. What do you believe? Okay, things. People die. The body will die. This body will gone. Will be gone. Maybe next 60 years. I don't care. But it's transformation. I just let it go, and I can change another body. I don't have to change. I just become invisible. That's okay. It's either way, But with this body, I want to take care of this body as the best I can, without going to hospitals. Sometimes when you go to get a job. I went to Dow Chemical Company, worked for 2 years. You have to do this physical, you have to do things. Sometimes you have to do this, go to physical. And they couldn't believe what I did. You know, I went to Dow Chemical Company. They gave me a physical. And I beat the machine. My blood pressure was systolic. It's like 220. My diastolic is like 120. They shocked. They say, you're supposed to be healthy. I say, you have something wrong with your machine. This is a state-of-the-art machine. You know, we just got it. You know, it's computerized. That was 1990. Okay, it's a really, really huge machine. You know, I say something wrong with it. I say, you test it again. 5 minutes later, and then 5 minutes later, they realize, you know, it's 59, 111. So say, wow, how did you do that? I say, well, everybody can do that because you call automatic nervous system. I don't call automatic nervous system. I call flow system. When I flow into it, everything follows. That's what it is. Let me get my charger. It looks like it's gonna die in a minute. Okay. And so I think life is like that, and I love life on this land. You know, this is the universe. This is as paradise it can be. You know, if you regard this as a paradise, it's paradise. And you know, you live this in this paradise. If you see as hell, okay, be it. You know, that's your choice. Everybody has that choice. That's what I see.
Okay, people. Now, I have a
Yes,
question,
sir.
which is
Yes,
like this
please.
is, and now this is something more pragmatic. Like we've been talking a lot of how the universe works and how we see things, and all of your experiences as well.
Yes, sir.
Now, you're living in this really weird time right now, and I think most of the people are they fear, they are frightened, they don't want to be, or probably have a difficulty of taking the decision to go against something that they don't believe in. I think many of the people actually don't really believe in what is happening, but on a subconscious level, they think this is okay. So what are one of like a few things that people could do right now, starting today, very pragmatically, that will
Sure.
help them not be in this place, not like be somewhere where they feel better, where they feel more alive, more connected, where they can, you know, have more excitement and be more vital, have more vitality, and you know, and moving into, you know, as love as the opposite of fear, because I think that there's so much fear out here, and I don't know which president it was or what person it was, but he said that the only fear that we need to have is of fear itself, and that is this is where disease actually starts. So what is something that people can do now, in your
You
opinion?
know, this is what I see. You know, people fear. It's all self-inflicted fear. There's such thing from outside. Fear is within. You know, and it's a self-reflect fear. And I can fear anytime, but I don't choose that fear. And it's all easy. It's not what you choose. It's they give you. No, it's not, because if you really engage into that fear, you're gonna find fear everywhere. You're gonna find fear everywhere. Absolutely, I can have fear. You know, in China, and then I choose, even in China that time the situation was not that good to a lot of people, but you know, even though I didn't have a home, but I don't see, you know, if I stay in that fear, I'm in trouble. I'm gonna stay there, and then I'm gonna it's a self-destruction. Fear is within, fear is within. And just like happiness is within, health is within. Because everything is wholly reflect, because we are holographic people, 100% holographic people. Our consciousness reflects everything. If our consciousness goes that direction, and we're going to be in that direction. If our consciousness is in another direction, you're going to do another direction. So each person, what I see is each person hiding each self, the universe will change, because we are the one make the universe. We are the one make our world. We are the one make society. We are the one make ourselves. That's what it is. Each person is like that. People say, oh, I remember in China, that was over a year ago, it's like 500 people over there. One of the ladies said, we're not high. We're not like high as you are. And you are very high over there, up there. We are just ordinary people. I'm just a computer scientist. And I'm really low here. I said, you know how high you are? To me, you are the highest. Because I was off, I stay, I never had a home. I live in ditches. I live under the bridges. I live by the river banks. You have food. I never had a food. You think I'm a high? You gotta be joking. According to the three-dimensional world, I'm the lowest of the lowest. A beggar, not even good beggar. A lot of beggars, they kind of got a lot of food. I was starving. I eat the mud. Eat the clay. So, and then she changed. She cried. Oh, she wept. I said, no, don't weep. I know she heard my story. She wept. She said, well, I didn't know, how could you live your life like that? This is, see, you see from that emotional, that side, to me, it's beautiful. Why? Because all that gave me a beautiful life. Why? I transformed. I see totally different world. Because it gave me the toughest time, I can become strongest in my life. When I was in China, everybody can kick me.
No, this
when
is
I go
this is
back to
something
China,
that is this is something that is like reframing, right? Like most people think, oh my God, something bad happened, so this is really, really bad. But sometimes, and just like you said, like, oh, something bad happened, or we have a problem. Okay, where's the solution? Let's see. What am I going to learn from this? Where's the lesson? What is the new teaching that is coming now?
Yeah, when you have desperation, when you have this, chaos, when you have life-death situation, that's when you transform. That's the best happen to you. The worst comes with the best behind. If you're dead, you're dead. You're done. You totally defeated. You're gone. And if you overcome, you transform. That's how it is. The worst comes with the best. That's what I see. That's the life I saw. I can be shot. I supposed to have died. People say, oh, these cats have 9 lives. I have more than 15 lives. I was dead so many times. I can't even, count it anymore. I was dead, drunk. I was dead twice, shot by guns. I was flipped in a cars with a fire. I was just anywhere. It's just everything. I can be dead anywhere. I was in coma for 2 weeks, and with the swollen, everything swollen. Everybody thought I was dead, and I left. So, and that's why people just told me later on. Some people Chinese told me, because you have suffered so much, and then that's you have that treasure, because that suffering transform you to a lot of treasure. It gives you a lot of the treasure. That's what it means. You transform from that, and if you suffer so much, and that give you a lot of gifts. Suffering is a gift, and a lot of people say that. But to me, there's no such thing as suffering. That's give you a good time. That's a good time. That's give you an opportunity to transform. Give you opportunity to really, really leap forward, leap up into another dimension. give you a warning not to stay in the pandemic, not to stay in the fight, not to stay in the rabbit hole, not to stay in the darkness, not to stay in the diseased state of mind. Transform. Give you a warning. The best opportunity to give you in Chinese, crisis means what? Means opportunity.
Opportunity. Yeah.
Yes. Crisis they call 危机. 危 means danger. 机 means opportunity. It's a dangerous opportunity. Yes. The more danger, more opportunity.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I heard about that one. Now, but now, what is something that people can do? Like starting today.
Yeah, what they can do is they need to see beyond the problems. They need to see beyond the problem, there's opportunity. They need to let that go because a lot of people have attachments. I can have thousands, millions of attachments into my body, into my mind, into my conscious system. I choose another way. It's a choice. You can choose this way. You can choose another way. So Zen, that's why I teach Zen. I share Zen. I don't really teach, so to speak, because it's already in the universe. And I just download it and share with everybody. That's what it is. And then what I see is that Zen is about a great field. With all kinds of crazy things. You go through it, you dump one. You go through it, you dump another. You go through it, you dump another. You see, great void right in front of you. That's infinite possibilities. But all these things blocks. You get rid of them. But each blocks is opportunity. So you need to see it's a mindset. It's a mindset. It's a state of mind. It's a state of mind. How do you build that state of mind? I cannot tell you because you have to dive into it. You have to be in it in order to go through it. Okay, you say, how to meditate? No, I don't know. I have no idea. I did meditate for the last 60 years. I have no idea what I do. I can tell you thousands of ways because I have been through. I did yoga. I did all kinds of meditation, Zen meditation, Buddhist meditation, Taoist meditation. I did all kinds of crazy things. What I can do is lead you into the door, and then you can do yourself. All the cancer patients, I told them, same thing. I can lead you into the door. You have to travel. You are the one to do the travel. I'm a travel guide. I tell you where to go, and you can go. And sometimes I don't know even that's the best place. This is the place I open to me. May not be the best for you, but you have to open your mind. There's another door for you. There's another pathways. There are a lot of pathways.
So maybe it's just, it really comes down to a choice, isn't it? Like I know that with me, it was like, I really need to work myself out. And like this was 4 years ago, more or less. I really needed to do this. And I took the decision, like, I'm going to explore. I'm going to work on myself. Yes. I'm going to look into all these different aspects. Which ones are the ones that look the worst? These are the ones that I'm going to work on first. And also the ones that, like where most of the things are dependent on. And which was really my self-esteem, my self-love, and my self-confidence. Like how, sure. Because I was also one of those, but like many humans that suffered with this disease of I am not good enough.
I didn't find the plug, so here I just do it until the power off.
So it really comes down to the decision, in my opinion, and then start to open because the universe, okay, he wants to know, let's show him. And then it comes in all of these different ways, sometimes a little harsher ways, sometimes a little better, and you find the right people, just like I'm talking to you right now. The only reason I'm talking to you is because I opened up to whatever there was to come, and it was also based on this whole decision. Like, I really want to have an impact. I really want to be in touch with beautiful people that have amazing lives and that have an amazing energy, that have, that bring change and impact into other people's lives. And because I want to be part of that as well, like I just want to have exactly that impact on people, like uplift people, bring people into to a better place, health, fulfillment, and all of that. So yeah, with me, it was really, and then like meditation came, and also the use of some plant medicines and psychedelics as well. And then different practice, and now also because of you, I'm really interested in kung fu, to be honest. And yeah, it's I had this thing with martial arts when I was a kid. I did some judo, and I did some capoeira, but I never really went deep into it because like I didn't feel there was a structure that would hold me and support me. And now, like I ended up not doing it. Um, so yeah, what are you doing right now? I know you always have this training suit on. This is from from the place that you have your studio and your what do you call it? Uh, little monastery
Yeah,
or something.
yeah, it's a still it's called a 道场. It's just like people call dojo. The same thing, 道场. Dojo is 道场. 道场 is dojo, and 道场 is
Exactly.
Chinese spelling. Dojo is Japanese spelling. It's the same thing. Yes. All right, I lost you.
Now I know that you have. I I've seen so many videos of you with some kids, doing the martial arts, and you're training them. But I also heard so many of your stories where you help people of terminal cancer, supposedly, to heal themselves.
Yeah, martial arts is many ways, and martial arts has Shaolin Temple is very well known for healing, and very well known for meditation, and Zen, Zen, and also well known for Kung Fu. And I think it's all of them is together, and you have healing aspect and meditation, it's also part of the healing aspect. You have the transformation and mind and body transformation aspect. That's why old days, the emperors always want to stay at the Shaolin Temple for a period of time to transform themselves because they get so crushed by their work and, really good emperors. They always go to Shaolin Temple to do some training. And so today is very difficult because you have so much chaos, you have so much commercial, and so that's why I see the total different world, and I see, and I want to stick to the tradition, not because of the tradition, and I want to stick to learn from the ancient wisdom and to transform and to move forward to learn new things and from new things from the quantum physics, from biology. I studied biology myself and quantum biology, and from relativity and from epigenetics and from the Zen, and then I tried and the Chinese medicine tried to see through these different studies, penetrate into the essence of it. All of them has the essence of it. Essence of it, some people maybe call quantum field. Some people maybe call them, the Zen consciousness. And some people call the great void. And some people call the infinite energy. Some people may call God. And the people call different things. But there's a supreme wisdom. And then we all have that innate wisdom. We all have the innate intelligence. And we all have that innate freedom. That freedom is the key to me. And I train people. I want the kids to be free. And I train, in the artistic kids, train a lot of us kids with autism. And because I want them to see they have another chance. And they can still connect it. I just trained an autism kid. And he cried there for 2 weeks. Period, 2 weeks in my studio. I told her parents, don't even worry about his crying. Just let him cry. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I don't care. Today, it's totally transformed. And the family couldn't believe what he could do. He began to speak Chinese and began to count the numbers. And he could never ever talk to anybody. And he began to speak, Chinese words on the different stands. He began to do punches. He began to do flips. This is only 3 months. just incredible, you know, and that progress. So everybody is like, everybody has that innate ability. My job is transform myself and help myself to hide myself to kind of like expand the consciousness, and hopefully that ripple effect to affect some people, that people will use their own light. Remember, I said very clearly, use their own light, not use my light. Okay, use my light, and then my light distinguish what they're going to do. They need to use their own light to light themselves up and to discover themselves. That innate wisdom within. Everybody has that innate wisdom within. That's what I do. In body, in mind, in every way. You can say, yeah, martial arts is a body. A lot of people do that. Or UFC, they will just fight. Okay, karate is a fight. It's just very, very little tiny aspect of it. Because I trained UFC fighters. I trained Patrick Berry trained his wife Rose, who was the champion of UFC, and Patrick Berry also fought the UFC. Kong Lee also fought the UFC. All these people, those are just very tiny little of the martial arts. They have no idea what they're talking about, the UFC. And then there's much beyond that. Much beyond all the people in karate, much beyond in judo, much beyond in jujutsu, much beyond in taekwondo, much beyond in any of these so-called stylized things. And I like what Bruce Lee said. Let's stop crystallization. Expanding. Like water. The water can crash, water can expand. Water can be a bottle, water can be a cup, water can be a kettle, water can be anything. Be water, my friend. That's beautiful, and that's what I see. And it's a life. Kung Fu is a life. That's what I do. I do is live an ordinary life. You hope that life will transform. Hope that the life will be expanding and give some impact to some other lives. And that life, because they're all interconnected. They're all part of the ocean. I'm just one drop of that ocean. And I use the ocean to empower myself. I hope every drop of that water uses the ocean to empower themselves. That's the beauty of life. That's what I see. Instead of saying, oh, I left that ocean, you cry forever. What are you going to do? Go back to that ocean. Yes, that's the life is about.
It's the ocean in a drop. No, it's a drop in the ocean and an ocean in a drop.
Yes. Well, the ocean should
actually
drops
the other day I was writing something. And it was something like, I am, because we say, like, when we are in love, with somebody, we say I am in love, and then I turned it around to love is in me. And this is the same thing for me as, you're a drop of the ocean, but you have the ocean in your drop. And this is, this is fractal. This is fractal reality, and how the universe is actually seen by so many spiritual whatever groups. So yes, man, thank you so much. And how do you see the future, and how do you see us moving through this? Now, this is this really weird time, and you were saying, oh, yes,
this is the best time.
We have a problem.
This is the best time.
Awesome.
This is the best time. Force everybody to transform. This is the best time ever to transform the species, to transform the society, to transform everything. Wake up. Everybody need to wake up at this special time. This is the best time. Why? Because, there's no better time than this. And all must transform to live another life. Yeah, to live not into the rabbit hole, not into the drugs, not into these material things. Only we need to see the spiritual world. We need to see the intelligent world. We need to see the world beside the drugs, the world beside the materials, the world beside the rabbit hole, the chemicals, the hospitals, the money, so-called money. The money is what? Money is the energy. Some use money for the bad energy. Some can use money to lift themselves up. And so it depends on how you regard the financial energy. Some people use the financial energy to get deeper into the darkness. Some people use the financial energy lift themselves up. Doesn't matter. I have financial energy, not have financial energy. We all can survive. However, yes, we need financial energy to do well and to transform, to help a lot of people. It's beautiful, and we can do that. And if we really into that consistently, persistently, we can perceive that way, we conceive that way, and we take action, we take accountability, and we firm it, and then we just ready to receive it with gratitude, and follow through with grit. That's what I say. And life can be beautiful.
I love it.
The light is always coming another day.
So and like we've been talking, right? We've been in contact, and it seems like so many people are coming together now and interconnecting. Yes. And there are still some friends that I want to put together with you. So what do you think we're doing? What is it that we're doing?
We're doing this. This is what I see, and we're doing this, give voice that a vibration. This is voice is a vibration. The words are vibration. The energy is vibration. The consciousness, we are give that ripple effect, hopefully, and our energy will expand. More people will connect it, more energy expand. More people connected, more energy expand. And then if from each person, the heighten is from within. It's absolutely. If each person is heightened, if each person goes through inside to see that, not physical inside, what I say, spiritual inside, that are conscious inside, the energy inside, to transform that conscious, superimpose that conscious energy frequency. When that frequency connected, they superimpose, they become stronger and stronger, they become the reality, the new reality. That's all it is. We are building the new reality of the universe. We are all the builders of that reality. We are the shaping the reality of the universe. We are shaping ourselves, shaping the reality of the humanity. That's what we're doing.
How would you say people can shape the reality that they want to live in?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Everybody can shape his reality or her reality, because sometimes you stay in the. Pardon?
How can people do it?
How can people do it? If I tell you how, I'll be lying. Why? Because I just a few words and I'm not responsible. I need to be accountable. I need to be responsible. You need to do it, and then every step of the way, just you have to say, okay, how to get in Beijing? I don't know. Okay, you take a train, you take an airplane, you do what? And you need to do it. You actually have to do it. And then how to eat an apple? I don't know. You have to eat an apple, and you know how apple tastes. So what I see, when you experience it, and every step of the way, and you will see another door open. When every step of the way, another door open. The whole thing is state of mind. Not build a state of mind, just get into that state of mind, which is consciousness, which is internal. Everything see from internal, the internal being, not from external. How? Look outside. When you see how, you still look outside. You understand? You get rid of the how, and you begin to see inside. So your inside will tell you. Your inside will tell you every step of the way. You will see that formless. From the formless potential, you will see some images. You will see some thoughts. You will get another thing, and you will see reality. From formless to forms, from forms to actuality. That's how that actuality of that reality, visible reality, going to happen to each one of us. There's no such thing as how.
When you
put
say
a how,
that
you already give yourself a blockage. Meditation.
Would you say that
the best way?
Yes.
Get deeper inside. Yeah. Get deeper inside. Observe yourself, because each self has that door. Each self has that experience. Each self has that baggage. Each self have that dogma. Each self has that culture. Each self has that authority within. Get rid of them. get rid of the authority, get rid of the garbage, get rid of the, all these books, get rid of all this knowledge, get rid of all these dark cultures, all these things that block you. Empty it, and you will see clearly where you're going to go. And you, each one of us, see how. I cannot tell you how. If I tell you how, I'll give you a big blockage over there. That's why I give people only a few beginning. I say, well, this is how I do it. And then you need to find your way. And then I can do that. It's not a problem. That's why I have some programs, for cancer. I have a program for CEO. I transform CEOs. I have programs for fighters. I have programs for golf players. I have programs for basketball players. I have programs for football players. And then I have all kinds of programs for different people. However, they have to travel. I don't do anything. I just point out, you do it. You have to actually do it. You do from within, not from without, not externally.
Yeah.
And that's what I see.
Now, what would be the way for you to do meditation? Like the easiest, the way to start?
And let's say I normally I told Thomas in the beginning, and I would, let's breathe. Okay, we breathe. Deeper breath. I'm going to do another deeper breath. All right, and then we say deeper breath, and then very deep. We do 2 breaths. We do 3 breaths. I do consistently doing it. I do 9, do another 9, do another 9, do another 9. We call 9 breaths. And then that breath will help you to really give you each sex of that lungs open up. That'll transform energy into your body. That's really give you a lot of body energy. When you have energy, you feel different. That's when you're in a different state of mind. You understand? You're not in a rabbit hole that that kind of state of mind. You get a better state of mind. And then you get deeper into a little bit of calmness, a little bit, a serenity, and slowly you get into it. And my power is going to be on in a few minutes, okay? In 1 or 2 minutes. Just let you know. But it's good. It's good to talk to you.
Yes, Shifu, so much gratitude for this conversation. We have so much more to talk, actually. I really want to go deeper into
looking time in the future, we can do it.
Yeah, looking into Kung Fu especially. Good,
yeah,
Shifu. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, what I see is we have conversation, we do the conversation, and I tell you, and also, I don't lose anything. I gain a lot of things. I gain the energy. I gain you. I have a conversation with you. It's beautiful. I'm the one, and have gained a lot of things because I feel good, and to talk about it, and then energy is up, and I feel it's great, and then I see my beautiful son, brother son over there, and it's all beautiful. Yeah, I love it. Thank you.
Thank you, Shifu.
All right. So thank you. You take care.
I will all your contacts in the show notes of this podcast. And again, yes, thank you so much. And
thank you.
Yeah, I see you soon. I hope.
See you soon. Yes.